to love me unconditionally, which basically means I don't have to hide anything about myself. I don't have to feel I have to be somebody different than who I am. See, we don't let people love us unconditionally because we don't love ourselves unconditionally. So it forces you like, okay, I'm not going to try. I'm not codependent. I'm not going to try to get someone to love me. I'm going to let them love me as I am. And that's actually a combination of my female, it's an integration of my female side in. That's what women have to really go for, is to let somebody love you unconditionally, which means set it up so that they can. And that's the way we have all these relationship skills, like in Beyond Mars and Venus, where you come home and you've been on your male side, and which is solving problems, which is being analytical, which is having to detach, having to rationalize. You can't go, oh, I'm so upset. There's traffic. You go, well, there's always traffic. You see, that's a rationalization. But when you're in traffic, you don't like it. There's emotions that come along with that. But if you're on your male side, there's always traffic. I'll get there on time. So relax. That's a way a male processes stress, and that's the way a woman on her male side will also process that stress, except that what she's missing out on is the connection to her female side, which is the emotions that come up when you're in traffic or you're being annoyed by someone. There's emotions that are being pushed down. So every negative emotion you have, if processed correctly, is an opportunity to raise your estrogen, and then solidify that state by then focusing on the positive. Like, I'm driving, I'm in traffic, and so you let yourself feel the frustration. I wish this traffic wasn't here. I'm so disappointed. I'm going to be late. I'm concerned about it. What will happen if I get there on time? I won't get it. And then, what your male side does is says, don't worry about it. You can only do what you can do. But the female side has an emotional reaction, and the benefit of attending to, looking at those emotions, feeling them, is estrogen goes up. But now if you use those emotions to then complain to your partner, I'm frustrated with you, estrogen doesn't go up. Testosterone goes up because you're trying to change him. So to embrace your feelings is to feel them for a moment, a short period of time, notice that this is what I'm feeling, and then notice, okay, what would I really like? And then you see more clearly that your expectations are unrealistic. But first you feel, and then what would I wish? How do I wish things could be? What do I want? And then what am I happy about? What am I grateful for? I'm grateful I have a car. Look at these people riding the bus. I mean, it's a long way to get your license, to get a car, to get a job. I went through all of that. I remember that. It's a big thing. They're like at the bottom of the mountain. Thank God you're halfway up the mountain just to own a car. Okay. So I'm grateful I've got a car. I'm grateful I got my health. I'm happy that I get to have this meeting that I'm going to. I get to express myself. I'm excited because I know I can do a good job. There's always the positive side to everything. So you look at the negative side and then you go to the positive side. That's the place you want to live in. But inevitably, you'll come back to the negative and you come back to the positive. And that's the way our brain is built. We're actually built. The one side of the prefrontal cortex sees what's wrong. The other side of the brain sees what's right. You have to have both those perspectives in order to solve problems, recognize what needs to be corrected. You can't just be looking at positive. You can't just be looking at negative. The problem is negative is addictive.
Yes.
That's the thing, because survival is based upon protecting yourself against danger. So basically, everybody's been in a state. If you buy into the whole danger for you, and of COVID, for example, and if you're 80 years old, there's something to be dangerous about. You're healthy. I can't get COVID. I'm a healthy 70-year-old, and I never get the flu. I don't get colds. If I get a cold, I'm done in one night because I'm healthy. I have an immune system. I know how to do it. I work the system. I know how to be a healthy person. I have no concern. I try to, if my friends had COVID, I said, let me come visit you. I just had to put on a private jet with a friend because he had COVID. And said, oh, I really want to be with you. And all the people on the plane, like our friends, 15, they're all vaccinated. They all got COVID. I didn't. So why would I be concerned about that? You see, when people are worried, what's going to happen is in your body. Every time you put on a mask, you do it because you're afraid. Your adrenaline levels go up and your cortisol levels go up. And ironically, then you activate circuits in your brain that go stronger and stronger to look at what's bad, to look at what's bad, to look at what's bad. And you can't look at what's good. And the key to this and retraining your brain is to realize that when you have negativity, it's very hard just to jump back to positivity without suppressing what your wants are, what your needs are, the sour grapes kind of thing. Not that important anyway, push it down. Well, I don't care anyway, they'll push it down. So what you do to change from negative to positive is very clever. It's what you feel you can heal. Is that if you're angry, what you do is you're on your negative side, right? Well, you go to another negative emotion, which is kind of like the opposite of anger, which is I'm angry. I'm going to go to my disappointment and sadness, because you can't be angry unless you're disappointed. There has to be some expectation you had that was unrealistic, and then and then people who stay angry insist that I have a logical reason to be angry. People are awful, so I'm going to be angry. When I look at the TV, I just look at all the deception and lies. I let myself be angry for a moment, but the unrealistic expectation is that people are all good. They're not. They're control freaks. The governments have always been corrupt and evil. Evil people are everywhere. Who starts these wars? Vietnam was started on a lie. The world has always evil in it and has good people too. And the good, it's like the arc of justice, the arc of goodness. It always comes in. But this is life. There's negative and there's positive. Which camp you want to be in? Be in both. Recognize the negativity is all primarily in you, and then you can let it go and find the positive in you. And then you don't dwell on what's happening in the world so much, except what you can do things about. And then you can do things. Take action, not from negativity, but inspiration of, look, I can help, I can do, what can I do? It's not like passivity. I'm not about that at all. But I'm about following your heart when it's open, not when it's closed. So we're designed to have both these sides, the prefrontal cortex. If when people are negative, they're on the right. The right prefrontal cortex is blood flow there, and when they're positive, this is my left. I'm looking in the camera at myself, so let me change that. when I'm positive, I'm on my left. You can't see it on the camera, but anyway, if you put yourself in my position, right here is where you see positive. So when people are looking up to the positive, they're looking. When people are looking back, that's the part of the brain that looks at what are the problems, what's wrong, what needs to be improved, and so forth. And these are circuits inside of us. And as soon as you use any circuit to get what you want, that circuit grows stronger. And of course, we always want more. So in your relationship, your partner's not giving you what you want more. And so you go right to the circuit that goes to the negative, rather than learning how to go to the positive. But how to get through that negative is such a clever idea. You can't. Usually if you're angry, it's hard to just come back to love right away. So you feel anger. The opposite of anger is some disappointment, some sadness. Then another feeling tone other than sadness is I'm afraid. See, sadness is it didn't happen. Fear is what could happen. You see, it's in the future. And then guilt is what should have happened. So you got yourself feel bad about how you contributed to the problem. It's hard for people to feel guilt when you're blaming your partner. That's why the Men Are From Mars ideas are so important, is because we can recognize they don't know what they're doing and we don't know what we're doing, and therefore we're both at fault.